So you're playing Skul the Hero Slayer, eh? Hello there, how are you? This one is for all of the new guys out there, so whether or not you picked the game up recently with the PS Plus side of things, or you're on Switch, Steam, mobile is coming out soon in the future, I understand, it doesn't matter, because I've been getting a lot of comments about getting some wins in both normal difficulty and the Dark Mirror, and I'm pleased to say that the same strategy will work for both, and that is to use Ghoul, because the Ghoul Skull is, in my opinion, probably the best beginner-friendly skull for getting some good wins, as well as learning the fights and just getting an understanding of how defensive items work and how different scalings work. Ghoul does it all. So the first things first, I don't know how many of you new guys are aware of this, but there's always someone who doesn't know. Now, the Fox NPC and the Ogre NPC are fellas that you will rescue, assuming you've done a couple of runs and made it far enough to release them from their cages. They come back and act as vendors here that will give you skulls to start your run and items. But were you aware that if you talk to them again, they will ask for 10 Dark Quartz, an incredibly inconsequential payment, and they will give you a second skull. You cannot get a third one. Same thing with the Ogre. Pay him 10 and he will give you a second item. And as you can see, I'm actually really glad this happened because it helps my explanation. There is a small chance to get rare items and rare skulls. Yes, the Fox NPC can do the same with skulls. It can give you rares. Basically, there's about a 10%, I want to estimate. Don't quote me on that. We don't really know the real numbers internally, but there is a small chance that you can get rares. Now, this is important because even if, say, for example, you were doing a run with just Little Skull, or you want to do magic only, and these guys are physical, what we can do is destroy them, and we now have a starting pool of bones. What if, for whatever reason, you never want to do this? Gold Incense Burner is actually amazing. But for whatever reason you got items you didn't want to use, destroy them. And now look, you've got a starting supply of gold to get the run underway. In addition to that, if you are wondering, how do I sell items and get money? I've tried time and time again, and all I get is a destroyed item and no gold. That is because making money from destroying items is directly tied to the Ancient Alchemy Witch trait over here. I don't recall exactly how much it costs, you'll be able to see when you go into the game yourself, but at the first level up of this, you will only get about half the amount that the items are worth. Once you max this out at 2 out of 2, you will get the full amount of gold that you deserve. Now, just as a future reference, I do recommend rushing towards Ancient Alchemy and Reassemble. These two are game changers and will help your runs immensely. Now, obviously, the damage and crit rate increasing ones, all these little ones over here, they're all good. There is no such thing as a bad witch trait that you don't want to upgrade. They are all good. But out of all of them, Reassemble and Ancient Alchemy will have the most impact. And now for the main event, we have Ghoul. Now, if you can't find Ghoul in your run, because yes, he is a rare, therefore you won't be able to get him guaranteed from the Fox NPC, even if you reroll a few times, I don't want to tell you to start blowing through, you know, a couple of 100 Dark Quartz to try and get the lucky rare Ghoul to show up, but if you do find him, he's going to make your runs infinitely easier. If you can't find Ghoul, I highly recommend the Shield Skull as well. The Shield Skull is incredibly defensive. The only real difference is he will get your run completed a little bit slower. But keep an eye out for Ghoul. He's going to be what you need to get some very easy runs underway. Now, I'm going to activate and effectively destroy my little extra skull over here to get a little bit of extra bone fragments. We're going to grab 2 items from the Ogre, the Old Cross, and the Broken Dagger. Neither of these are especially awesome for Ghoul, but it's a good way to start. We can make some money out of this. If you've made it far enough to rescue the Druid, talk to his little altar there to get a buff. This buff will last for all of the first act. Regardless of whether or not the timer runs out, it does have a duration, but whether or not you get to the end of Act 1 with it still active, it will just disappear when Act 2 begins. So this is just a way to help make the beginning of your runs a little bit smoother. Now, the reason why Ghoul is so good is for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, the meat chunks are the primary thing that makes him amazing. As he hits enemies and kills enemies, they will drop little flesh balls on the ground. Walk over them, pick them up, and you will increase both in size and damage. It'll actually amplify his physical damage by 2% per meat chunk. These stack up to 30 times, and they last 20 seconds. Picking up a new one refreshes the amount of time you have left. You can then consume your stacks by doing your down and attack. However, don't do that with Rare Ghoul. We're going to do that later when we upgrade Ghoul. Next up, I want to very quickly cover a really important distinction for damage types. Now, it says here that for Ghoul, whenever you eat his meat chunks, it amplifies his physical attack by 2%. That is a very important distinction, because an increase is not the same as an amplify in Skul the Hero Slayer. If you've ever found the basic Carleon sword, it says it increases your physical attack by 30%. That just gives you an extra 30. If you have 500, let's just assume hypothetically for a second that my physical attack says 500%. If I pick up that sword, it will go to 530% because it's additive. If I did, however, get a 20% amplify to my physical attack, it acts as a multiplier. So 20% of 500 is 100. So we'll actually get a 100 boost and go to 600 physical attack instead of the 530. So if you find amplification effects for both physical or magical, regardless of whatever kind of Skul you're doing, those effects are very, very potent when you stack them up, and they do stack together. So multiple amplifiers will basically double up on each other, and before you know it, your damage will get insane. That's the main way that you want to make insane runs. Now, in order to make Ghoul as powerful as possible, as early as possible, I highly recommend that you take Skul rooms in the beginning. It is imperative that we get Little Ghoul upgraded to unique and then legendary as soon as possible. And I know that maybe you want to start getting cool items and some money and things like that. Trust me, you will want to upgrade Ghoul first and foremost. It's very important. Now, you see I just used a grappling chain. If you do up and attack with Ghoul, he throws out a chain. It's going to destroy him. And that will pull him to a wall if it connects to a wall like a grapple. Or if it doesn't do that, it will just pull the enemies towards him, as you saw a second ago. We don't have any Skul rooms, so I'm going to come in here and we'll just deal with this room. Now, we have an NPC that's going to help us get some more bone fragments. Wonderful, thank you. I'm not going to over-explain every minute detail about just doing a normal run, because I'm hoping that, you know, you can go and check out any of the other guide videos I've done before and just experiment around. It's not the kind of thing I'm trying to do with this video. I'm more or less just explaining that Ghoul can help you out a lot, and we've managed to find one of the important pieces of the puzzle. Now, before I forget, we have 29 stacks of the meat chunks down below. Ghoul specifically is one of only 2 skulls in the entire game that preferentially should be played on his own. We're not going to take any other secondary skulls, we're not going to do any swaps, we're not changing out into another skull, none of it. Because the meat chunks, despite being at 29 stacks, if I swap into Little Skul right now, and then I swap back, he will lose his stacks, which means all that extra damage, that 2% amp per meat chunk, gone. At maximum stacks, that's 60% amp. That's a lot of damage to lose. You may get bigger at the same time and making you a bigger hitbox, but the damage reduction, not worth it. You want to pick Ghoul and just stay on Ghoul the entire run. If you're curious, the second Skul that likes to play on his own is the Prisoner, the Dead Cells tie-in character, because his buffs that he gets from eating cells works exactly the same way. If you swap out, you lose your buffs. Now, this is the bread and butter of Skul the Hero Slayer if you want easy runs. Revenge. Revenge and other types of defensive items and inscriptions are very potent in this game. Damaging ones and other different utility ones are all good. There's very few ones that are actually like bad or not worth your time. But revenge is insane because all you need is 2. You don't have to get 4 out of 4, you can just get 2. After you get hit, as long as you hit the enemy back within 2 seconds, all the Bloodborne fans out there understand how this is going to work, you will deal extra damage back to the enemy, and you'll rally a little bit of life back. You'll recover 75% of the damage that you received. So let's say you're very unlucky and something major slammed you for 100 damage. You're going to die. No, just keep swinging. You'll hit, you'll do a ton of damage back, and you'll recover 75 of that life. It has a 3-second internal cooldown, which means it's also very abusable. So, even though the Rejuvenating Root's natural effect isn't insane, the revenge on it is great. It's a shame the mutant is going to get wasted because we're not swapping at all. But this is the first piece of the puzzle. Next, I'll say that as far as Ghoul's abilities are concerned, you don't have to worry too much about which ones you get, because pretty much all of his abilities are serviceable. I personally prefer to use either this one I've got right now, the Wide Slash, or even Inhale, the one where he has a big Kirby vacuum suck that he puts out in front of him and then sucks in enemies. That's very good for clearing in AoE and just, you know, getting rooms out of the way quickly. But Body Tank, when he runs across the screen, is pretty good. A little bit less serviceable on some boss fights because you kind of run past them. The slam that he does when he jumps up and lands on the ground is also very good, but I prefer these ones personally. Now, we have Discolored Dark Quartz. Another insanely good item, and I'm very glad that it showed up. This will give us our 2 out of 2 Revenge. We're kind of done. Don't worry about Revenge anymore. Antique is a very, 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 very good inscription to work towards. Not only will we get 35 for getting 2 out of 2, but the discolored quartz gives us 25 more life baseline, so all we have to do is work on a little bit more antique. Now, if you do get antique to 4 out of 4, you'll take 45% reduced damage when your life is above 70%, which, with the help of revenge healing back some of the damage you take, it's gonna be tough for enemies to bring you below that threshold unless, you know, they bully you quite badly. Now, I would recommend taking Kobold nice and early if you do see it, because the money that you can gain from this is well and truly worth your time, but as we want to get that revenge up and running first, it's going to take priority. So, the run is not exactly over, but the meat and potatoes and the bread and bones are like... The bread and bones? The bread and butter is kind of here. Now, you see, I took 11 damage right there, but I hit her, and I healed back a bit of life. I'm going to deliberately get hit by one of her attacks, and then we'll fire my skill off. 14 damage, heal back 11. Look at that. This is going to help out immensely with our ability to just kind of stand there and bully her. No. If you hit an adventurer while they're charging up their ultimate attack enough and you do enough damage, you can actually stagger them out of their ultimate attack. I recommend just burning damage into them. If you're playing a Skul that likes to swap, I recommend doing some normal hits, like burn your skills and then swap and then burn your other skills. You have 2 Skuls for a reason. They each have their own abilities. You want to use all of it. But as we're doing a Ghoul run, we don't want to swap because having the meat chunks is more valuable to us. Slime is ridiculous. This run is actually insane. I'm getting to show off a lot of really busted stuff really early on. So Slime as a quintessence makes you immune to damage for 3 seconds. May not seem like a lot, but the ability to just say no thank you to some of the boss's bigger attacks out there, to some of the really annoying enemy attacks out there, is very powerful, and only a 15-second cooldown, which you can make shorter with the help of some items like the Ancient Incense Burner. It's very, very, very usable and abusable. However, I'm going to prioritize Bone Fragments. We're going to destroy Alchemist because I'm not quite at 30 yet. I can't upgrade just yet. But by the time we get past the Yggdrasil boss fight, we should be there. No skull rooms, so I'm going to prioritize an item room instead. Now, it is worth your while to still take gold rooms if you don't want to worry about an item room. They're all good. There's no bad rooms necessarily. But like I said, I want to prioritize bone rooms in the beginning and break some skulls. That way I get... take that. I get Ghoul upgraded ASAP, and I need to keep collecting my meat chunks. And if you can, I'm not going to suggest rushing, but if you can keep those meat chunks active from room to room, it's going to help a lot. Ooh. Bit of treasure and mana cycle. We gain a barrier for 30 seconds whenever we use 5 skills. Doesn't matter. Treasure is a very, 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 very good inscription. If you can get your hands on some good treasure items, very worth your while. And mana cycle speaks for itself. Skill cooldown speed 50%, and then if you get 4 out of 4, your skill damage is amplified by 30%. There's that word again. Doesn't just mean they do 30% more, you know, number added on top. It's a multiplier. So hypothetically, if Ghoul had all of his meat chunks and his physical damage is already being amplified by having max stacks, and you had 4 mana cycle, that's going to mean that his ability damage is going to hit very hard. These effects do stack. Keep an eye out on what inscriptions are available. The items themselves are worth keeping an eye on. There are some items that have really good inscriptions on them, but the items themselves are kind of or maybe you just don't think they'll be good for your build. Keep an eye on the inscriptions as well. It's always worth a while to take a look at everything an item has to offer. I've got items that I will sometimes take, even if I don't like the inscriptions. I just like what the item does, and I will take it for that reason alone. Having said that, inscriptions are very powerful, and you should prioritize getting... I would say at least 2 out of 2, if not max out at least 1 per run. You can do runs where you only get, you know, the first tier in most inscriptions. There's actually runs in the hard mode mirror world where you do exactly that. But we'll talk about that another time. For now, we have some pretty interesting items. So Inner Malice requires us to swap, so we're not going to use that. Prayer of Grace is a very decent item for a common. I recommend pretty much everyone could or should take this if you have the money to afford it, because it works on every build. There's very few skulls out there. In fact, I think Champion is the only one who doesn't want this because his abilities don't have cooldowns. They have a resource that you spend. Everyone else just have normal cooldowns for the most part. So increasing that skill cooldown by 40%, plus we'll get 2 out of 2 in mana cycle for an extra 50. That's a 90% increase. Now, what that does is it's not... You would think that... It's the way that the math works in the game. So 90% skill cooldown reduction does not mean that Wide Slash is going to have a 1 second cooldown, right? What it means is it's going to, once again, as like a multiplier, it's going to reduce it by a severe 90% cut. It increases the cooldown of it. So the time it takes for that 9 seconds to go, it's speeding that up by 90%. So if that was hypothetically 100%, it's just making it cool down twice as fast. So instead of 9 seconds, it'd be 4.5 seconds. So right now, it should be anywhere from like 4.5 to 5 seconds for a cooldown. Maybe like 5 and a bit if it's 90% increased. That's just the way that the math works. I know I used to get that messed up as well, thinking it was shaving literal seconds off based on the percent. It's increasing how fast they tick. If you ever played like an MMO and you had like a global cooldown, you had a haste effect on you that increased the cooldowns of your abilities, it works that way. It's not literally just making it, you know, not work. It's not making the numbers disappear entirely. It's just making them cool down faster. But it's still a really good inscription to get. Like I said, most characters really enjoy spamming their skills, and we want to use our skills a lot because our skills also help us with getting more meat chunks. Everything that Ghoul does... What was above me? Oh, little frost mage. That was actually really sick. Well done. I jumped up in the air to avoid the 2 charges, and the frost mage down there dropped an icicle above my head and knocked me back down into them. Notice I didn't lose much life, though. 1, that shield totem really helped me out, and 2... I'm Ghoul, man. I don't care. I'm Ghoul. I've got revenge. I don't care. Coming in down through here, I've mentioned it recently in a different video. I'll mention it again. What you want to do in this room, it's actually kind of tricky because Ghoul's a big boy, but I'll get to show you. I guess I'll get to show you. I don't really have much choice here. That you can indeed fight these guys. I do not recommend it for all of the newer players out there. Do not actually fight these guys. They are quite tough on purpose. The goal is to sneak around here and not be seen, believe it or not. I'm gonna get seen though because I'm bad. And what you can do is every time they raise their sword, they will also teleport at you. If they teleport, it's trickier to dodge them. But when they raise their sword, you can kind of dodge in response, but if they get knocked off the edge like Ghoul is doing, it does make it a little bit trickier because they'll teleport to whatever platform you're on. Like I said, they're a pain, man. You can hit them, though. You can touch them, and all they'll do is they'll have a little question mark above their head, and they'll be like, what was that? Must have been the wind. You can use this as a way of causing a decoy distraction. I'm going to hide in this box right here. And they'll actually sit there for a little bit longer before they turn around if you do that. I'm coming down here because I think there's another piece of loot. If you loot... Uh-oh. No. If you loot everything... If you interact with all of the little machines... I just aggroed another one. Why is Beelz bad at the video game? I don't know, man. I'm sorry. We just finished killing these dudes and moving on. It's okay. We all make mistakes, right? Especially Beelz. There. If you break all the machines and you finish the mission, you won't get the rest of the rewards. So if there's chests in here that you want to loot, be sure to loot as many of them as you can before flashbanging yourself and leaving to get your free quintessence. And because it's free, we'll take it. Centaurus is not bad. It's not amazing. It mostly synergizes with bleed-type builds, but it's a little bit of extra damage for us, and we don't have to pay anything for it, so that's fine. Time for the Yggdrasil fight. And luckily, we do have over 30 bone fragments, so moving into Act 2, we'll be able to upgrade Ghoul into a unique skull, and we'll get some of the really awesome effects that Ghoul unlocks that makes him a god. Hello, Yiggs. How are you, my guy? I'm gonna throw... I swapped by mistake. Why did I swap by mistake? I pressed the wrong button. Ignore me! I pressed the wrong button. Just dodge his hand after he starts, you know, posturing that he's gonna throw it. He'll always throw the hand that you're closest to, by the way. Just to help you out. If I stand on this side, he'll always slam that fist down, so you'll always know which direction it's coming from. Just run away, just jump over the big ball. You can even dash through the last ball if you want. I was gonna say, where's that chin, my guy? Put that chin on the ground. Collect any meat chunks you see, they help out a lot with damage. Right. Right hand, left hand. We already know exactly which hands are gonna come down because of where I'm standing. If I stand about here, right hand, left hand. Well, left from the screen's perspective. Don't start giving me that whole, but Beelz, it was his right hand. I'm not talking about his hand, I'm talking about the hand I'm seeing. Oh, this. Jump, jump, wait. Jump. And it's not hard mode. I'm sorry if I start reacting like it's hard mode, like there's extra effects. That's just because I'm a goober. I haven't done a normal mode run in a little while, and some of the boss fights do change in hard mode. They start doing new things. There we go. Let's just throw a little javelin through his head. Give me something good, Yiggy. He didn't do the left-right hand swipies, but, you know, I'll let you know if he does left and right hand swipies, you can jump over them, or you can dash right through them. It's pretty good if you get the timing down. It makes you feel like you're a legend. Let's see, what do we care about here? We've got some revenge on the Berserker's Gauntlet. We get an attack speed increase based on how much life we've lost. Some more revenge would be good. So far, that's our top pick. Magic, don't really care. It's also arson. It's not good for Ghoul right here. Golden Wand does have treasure on it, but it is a magic-based item. I've done worse decisions in my past, but I'm not going to do that for this video. Indomitable Will, obviously the big legendary here. It's glowing. It's telling us to pick it up. We get a 50% boost to our damage baseline, which is very nice. Fire blazes from your body. The fire damages the enemy that comes into contact with it, according to the highest damage power between physical and magical. All that's telling us is, doesn't matter what kind of damage type you're using, it's just going to do the best it can do. The fire blazes again after 3 seconds. If the fire damages the same enemy 5 times, the enemy is then engulfed by pillars of fire and damages other enemies. So what I'm getting from this, and what you should take away, is the first sentence says we get 50% more increase in damage. That's good. We also get a cool effect that if we touch our enemy enough, they'll burn, take extra damage. That's good. Hunter's Boots, Masterpiece, it's okay. Elder Ant's Gratitude, I never take this, and I don't recommend you ever take it either. This is probably one of the weakest items in the game because the item can be destroyed and you won't get money for it. If you got the money that this was worth when it was broken, that's fine. But every other item in the game, if you replace it or lose it, you're breaking it and you can get the money for it. This will just disappear and you won't get the value for it. It sucks. I guess we could take Indomitable Will, but I kind of want to take the Berserker's Gauntlet to keep the revenge thing going because this is kind of like an outlier. You may not get legendaries in your runs straight away from Yggdrasil, although Ygg's does have a decent chance to drop them. You may not get ones that you want, so I'm going to try and, you know, do my best to keep it grounded a little bit. Especially after we got lucky getting, you know, some decent revenge items right at the very start, but they are common, so it's not like you'll never see them. But getting legendaries right away? Yeah, nah, let's avoid that. Now, Ghoul has upgraded to Unique. This is why we took as many Skull Rooms as possible at the beginning. Let's take a look, if I press the right button, and see what's changed. So he still has the hook. His normal attacks and killing enemies will still drop meat chunks. Performing a bite attack or acquiring flesh will get bigger. When it says a bite attack, it's because his swap makes him lunge forward and bite at enemies. You will also get an increase after he upgrades to Legendary, I think. No, he gets it now. He bites after he does Inhale, and he bites after he does his Cleaver. So at Unique, he starts biting after his attacks, so you're able to get meat chunks faster that way. You'll get them from killing enemies, hitting enemies, and biting enemies. Now, his damage is still amplified by 2% for every meat chunk he picks up, but he now has a new bit of text. When you consume his flesh chunks by doing down and attack, remember we haven't done that at all so far, it will eat all of the current stacks and replenish a portion of lost life. Now, it's important to make a distinction here. Ghoul has Grey Life that he gets. I'm going to keep taking Skull Rooms because I want to get to Legendary, right? Now, this is a Ghoul-based thing. This is Ghoul and Prisoner are both skulls. You want to get Bone Fragments immediately. But in other runs, yeah, it's up to you, man. You do you. Now, I just got hit by that guy. See my health bar? It's kind of acting up a little different, isn't it? It's got, like, different things there. This isn't going to be a good test because I'm going to break this thing and get some healing on me. Hit me. There we go. Okay, so we've got some Grey Life on us now. I'm taking lots of damage. Oh no, look how messed up I am. Eat. And I recovered some life. I ate all my meat chunks and I get life back. You will recover a portion. Now, the amount recovered of your Grey Life is based entirely on how many meat chunks you had and how long you're waiting in between actually having your meat chunks. So, if I come over here and I go... Wah, Inhale is a very good skill, by the way. My second favorite one of Ghouls. I can't believe I got the 2 skills I like the most. I'm going to take some damage on purpose here. I shouldn't be eating the healing spheres, but I'm going to anyway. So I get hit, and as long as I keep getting hit, I've got 30 meat chunks. So look at all this Grey Life. You can see, there we go. So the Grey bar and the green bar have kind of made a little gap there. If I eat now, I won't heal all the way back to full. It's a percentage. It's based on how much damage I've taken, but also how many meat chunks I actually have. If I try and heal when I only have like 7 meat chunks, see how I'm gonna getting less green life back? But if I start getting more meat chunks in a big way, Oh, I can suddenly eat and heal. This is why Ghoul is insane, because especially if you have revenge. So now, even if dudes do hit me, I can eat meat, heal back my life. I can heal back just by hitting a dude. He's very tanky. Very, very tanky. This is why any other defensive items like the Carlean Armor, Knight's Determination, just to name a couple. You could take Slime if you want to be a complete asshole. They're very, very, very good. Ghoul is very good for a beginner player to learn the ropes because it's forgiving. It gives you a chance to make mistakes and recover from them. Speaking of making mistakes, I'm going to show you something that arguably I shouldn't, but it's in the game and has been for a while. Let's say, for example, I make a boo-boo in the shop. It's going to be weird to show you this, but I'm going to make a boo-boo. I just bought a magic item. Ah, crap, my run is ruined. If we Alt F4... And yeah, I'm literally just going to crash the game. If you're playing on, you know, PlayStation, I'm still talking to you, black screen. I might, if I remember, I'll put something here to, you know, cover the awkwardness. You can just close the game, Alt F4, close application, whatever you want to do. And then boot the game back up. Bam, here we go, Skul the Hero Slayer. And when you come back into the game, it will remember your run that you were on. But what Skul does is it always puts you back at the beginning of whatever room you entered. That goes for shops, that goes for everything. So any mistakes you make, you can go back on. As long as you don't leave the room or die, you can go back on that mistake. And I know a lot of people make mistakes in the shop. This will help you out if you just, you know, you're walking along and you accidentally tap your buy button. There's no confirmation window. Bam, you got a dagger. No, I didn't want that. You can go back and fix it. Now, I'm going to roll a little bit, because I want to see if I can find... Nah, I don't really like those items. Ah, this one here. So the priest stuff is one of the really, really good defensive items I highly recommend. This pairs insanely well with one called Knight's Determination. If you ever see it, it looks like a knight's helmet with a cool little red... oh my god, I can't remember the name. My brain is fogging out on me. It's got like a red tassel tail at the back of the helmet. It looks really cool. It goes really well with this because Knight's Determination will make you take less damage when your life is at 30% or less. Priest Staff will start to heal you a little bit once your life hits 30% or less. So Knight's Determination will stop you from dying too quickly, and Priest Staff will start to heal you a little bit until you're at 30%. It won't heal you up any higher than that, but it will keep you from dying that little bit quicker. Very good item, and has Antique. I've also just realized we have 2 in Relic. So I'm getting a little bit more healing from our orbs too. We're doing pretty well on the defensive side of things. If I wanted to, I could start getting rid of my broken dagger, which is giving me attack speed. I don't really care about the bleed and or the old cross. You know what? I'll get rid of the broken dagger because we do still have some of that relic and we don't want to lose it for no reason. We'll buy this, and now if for whatever reason I get super low on life, I have a little bit more support. Throw the Centaurus, do it. Little fun thing about Centaurus, see the cooldown of my Quintessence? If you pick it up, look at that, I can throw it again. It doesn't automatically reset the cooldown, it like makes it come back like twice as fast, I think. Yeah, there we go. So, you know, it's just a little fun thing that Centaurus lets you do. It's a fun Quintessence. It's not one of the best, but, you know, it does its job. Suck. No. No. Also, Ghoul's Tackle Dash is very handy for interrupting enemies, even though, like, a lot of Power Skulls have this, and people typically don't like it. I favor not having Tackle Dashes on my skulls, but... Okay, these don't really matter. I'm just going to take whatever. There's nothing there that's any consequence to us. We'll just take it and leave. Sometimes you got to do that. You just got to take whatever's the least aggressive or offensive that's going to hurt your build. Just take whatever. You can sell it later. Do whatever. I'll sometimes take magic items if they just sell for more. Always, if there's nothing there that you really want, always take the thing that sells for the most. Die. But yeah, the Tackle Dash, you can do like 1-2 dash, 1-2 dash, 1-2 dash, and that's a pretty good little chain that you can do. Obviously, if you get big enough and you start swinging enough, you don't even need to do the Tackle Dash. I just do it because it helps with evading if there's enemies that are trying to take a swing. There's a dude that fell down, isn't there? Where are you, sir? I'm going to lose my 30 meat chunks now. I was going to try and keep that going. Look how funny the little bubble looks on my body. Because I'm a big lad. We're going to lose our stacks. It doesn't matter if you lose your stacks. You can build them back pretty quickly. Yeah, we shrink. Now, not this helmet. This is a different helmet. There's now 2 helmets in the game. There's the helmet with the red pomp looking thing. What's it called? Damn. The offensive wheel is a very good damage boost and has amazing inscriptions. Normally, I would tell you the wheel is fantastic, especially its on-use effect if you swap and use skills. If you use skills 4 times and you swap, just keep using skills and swapping and the wheel will activate on its own. Don't think too hard about it. The wheel comes out, rolls around, does good damage. Amazing. We're not swapping, so for us, all this is giving us is the good inscriptions and the 45% extra damage. Even though we're not swapping, it's still really good, so we're taking it. Fantastic. There's a lot of regulars watching this video right now who are saying, but Beelz, the wheels! I know, the wheel. Fight our little duos over here. I got hit. I don't care. I can just bully these guys. Dash through that. I got hit. I still don't care, dude. Why don't we care? Because I'm just gonna get meat chunks. And as long as I eat my chunks like that, I can heal back some life. Look at this. I am deliberately playing very lazy right here because I know quite a few people don't like the adventurer fights either. They're like, oh dude, these dudes kick my ass. How do I deal with them? Easy. Just bully them. Now, something very important just happened. You cannot leave that gray life there forever. I think it's like 6 or 7 seconds. If you wait too long, the life disappears forever. Well, disappears as usual, and you cannot get it back. So even though my meat chunks are maxed out and I was getting hit, it goes away. So you have to kind of either keep getting hit. Every time you get hit, it will refresh that timer on when the life just disappears for good. But depending on whether or not you're even in danger, don't worry too much about it. Cyclops, insanely good quintessence for defensive builds, and we have the shield boy here. The game is just throwing all of the good options at me so I can show them off. So Cyclops recently got buffed in the update that came out recently as well. It now does damage based on what's higher between physical and magical, which it never used to do. It used to be physical only. So this is really good for magic boys now as well, but it will slam, do good damage, and give us a 20 shield. Centaurus has worked out pretty well for us so far, but I might take Cyclops. I know I'm going to lose 5 bones, but right now 5 bones isn't going to make or break the build. Also, I'm going to walk away. See, my max life is at 210. Now it's at 215. That is because items and skulls, including quintessences, if you leave them on the ground when you leave a room, they will break automatically. I often walk away from items and skulls and things like that on the ground. They will break automatically. People ask me all the time. It became a pretty big meme in the community. As far as, Beelz, why are you walking away? Bam, get fisted. And not breaking your skulls. You're leaving bone fragments. No. They break on their own. It's okay. The only exceptions to this are containers. So treasure chests will not break on their own. The little containers that sometimes have bone fragments in them in special rooms will not break on their own. The gold veins from Kobold will not break on their own. If it's sitting on the ground already, like a skull or an item, you can walk away. I've got 23 bone fragments. They break. I've got 34 bone fragments. Look at that. It's amazing. You can manually break them if you want to be like that. Like there's no reason to not do that if you don't want to. If you want to, rather, but you don't have to is the real answer here. You know, you don't have to. Now look at Ghoul's cleave. Ghoul cleaves so well. He doesn't care. He just hits. We've got our 30 meat. Ah, it's the shop. We're gonna lose meat stacks because we got more dudes to worry about. Punch. Drop the fist. There's more dudes? Man, normal mode has a lot of guys in this room. In hard mode, there's like, yeah, there's bigger, nastier enemies you gotta fight in this room, but man, I'm just gonna get hit on purpose. You think I care about you, dude? You think I care? I'm gonna lose my meat anyway. I may as well eat it before I enter the shop. I don't care. Ah, the standard issue sword, fantastic item because this gives an increase, like I tried to explain at the beginning of the run, increase by 30%, but courage as an inscription, courage and wisdom, those two are like the two sides of the same idea. Wisdom boosts magic by exactly the same numbers that courage does, but courage is just the physical counterpart to it. They both give They both give amplification effects, amplified by 20%, and at 4 out of 4, you get a 20-second cooldown for a 45% amp. That is ridiculous. If you're looking for damage, courage and wisdom are what you want based on whatever damage type your skull deals. We could arguably sell a thing or two in here to make up that bit of money for some damage. My dog is barking. If you can hear him in the background, ignore them. They're fluffy and silly. I could, to be honest. I need to get rid of this at some point. I'm not really keen on getting a lot of relic. I don't need a lot of relic. So let's sell that off for a start. And we are a little bit shy on funds. So what else can we ditch? We could ditch the cavalry decoration. Yes, I planned this from the start. I'm just being funny. Right, so we now have a little bit of damage on board. If I can get 2 courage at the very least, our damage will go up considerably. Which means not only will we be nice and defensive, but aggressive. The main reason why Ghoul also works really well with all the defensive items, as I said, he eats meat chunks. And as he eats meat chunks, he gains an amplifier to damage. He naturally boosts his own DPS, which is so good for the boy. It's so good for the boy. Oh, you're down here. Come here. Suck. That's a lot of shield on me right now, dude. That's a lot of shield on me. Oh no, he shot me. Shame I don't care, because I'm shielded up to the tits. Give me 2 magic items. No, it's not the wand, it's the whip. It's the whip that gives me more gold gain and 4 revenge. I'll get 2 treasure, I'll get 4 revenge. That's pretty nice. And I get a 25% crit rate whenever I'm hit, just encouraging me to be belligerent and stand in damage sometimes. 4 revenge. While seeking revenge for 4 seconds, damage received is decreased for every 10 life lost, and damage dealt is amplified. Ooh. Yeah, let's take that. Now we have treasure, but more importantly, 4 revenge. But also more importantly, treasure, because treasure is really funny. And I have a bad habit of forgetting chests, so if I walk out of a room and leave a chest behind somewhere, I'm sorry. It's just because I'm stupid. Look, there's a chest right here. These will not break automatically. Open them manually. Do it every time. Open it manually. You have to do it. Otherwise, you won't get the goodies that are waiting for you inside, alright? You have to do it. Now, I did get hit a little bit there, and I'm not going to heal back, but it doesn't matter. Ah! Wow! Okay, so the runner's being very generous. Ancient Incense Burner is the item I said would help you with slime. This increases the Quintessence cooldown speed by 65%, gives us a big max life boost, and has Antique, and just 1 in Heritage. I don't even know why they bother saying that it gives a 65% boost, because what it's actually doing is giving a 110 boost, because you will automatically have 1 Heritage for that 45% extra. This item effectively halves the cooldown of all of your Quintessences just by default. For example, Cyclops has a 1-minute cooldown. Pretty good effect, gives you a shield. 1 minute though, it's a little bit, I really wish it, you know, did something else. Wish it was a bit shorter, maybe. What can I ditch? I might have to get rid of Prayer of Grace. We'll still keep our 2 mana cycle. Losing 2 relic doesn't matter. Let's get rid of that. So let's get rid of Prayer of Grace. There's other things I could ditch, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna ditch this for now. So our Quintessence should now have, in theory, a 30-second cooldown. Very, very good for us. But in addition to that, we also have the fact that we now have 4 out of 4 in Antique. Like I said earlier, now when we're above 70% life, we will take 45% less damage. On top of the healing from Revenge, on top of the healing from Ghoul eating his own chunks, on top of Cyclops dropping a shield. I should redo this run. It's a little too stacked. This is very unintended. I'm sorry. Your runs may not end up as stacked as this. Maybe they end up more stacked. Maybe you get, like, Hope Slasher and some legendary damaging items. Maybe you get, like, Swanisio, the Quintessence that just does a ton of damage. Who knows, dude? This is just an example of the playstyle that Ghoul unlocks. Sisters are on me. Oh no, I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna hit this lady. Gather meat chunks. Your primary objective in most boss fights is to just hit the bosses. Oh my god, I forgot how slow they are in normal mode. They're much faster in hard mode. If you've seen any of my other videos, you will see that in hard mode they are a blur compared to this. Now, a funny little thing about the sisters fight. The last sister will have more health depending on how weak she was when the first one dies. So what you can do if you want to do that is work on both sisters and get them both really weak. That way your second phase fight will be a little bit easier. Personally, I just don't care. I'll just attack whoever's on the screen. So, you know, this lady exists. So I'm going to hit her. Blech. Blech. Me and my cheeky iframes. I'm sorry, lady. And she's dead. We unironically got one sister really weak, so you'll see she'll come back in, and she will not have as much health in phase 2. I mean, she'll still have some, but... Oh no, she's like half dead. Damn. Look at these tiny waves! Oh, that's adorable. Those waves are huge in hard mode. Oh, that's really cute. You can jump over them. You can jump over her waves! Oh, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry, I'm gushing over how adorable normal mode sisters are. Uh-oh. Will iframe through that? Yay, the lines are tinier too, and there's not so many balls on the screen. This is really good. I like how easy sisters... I shouldn't say that. You guys are new players. I have over 1,100 hours in this game. I've been playing for literally 3 years plus now. I've seen these fights a lot. I haven't done normal mode since hard mode came out. I've done it like 2 or 3 times at best. It's really cute to come back and see the game in its original normal mode intended version, you know, the normal mode that you guys will all see. By the way, do go ahead and play the Dark Mirror / hard mode. It's just called hard mode because that's what it was promised to be. But the Dark Mirror mode literally continues the story. It is actually important plot. You need to do it. At least difficulty 0. Just beat it once. You don't have to keep... I mean, I highly recommend you keep climbing up the different difficulty ladders because you'll unlock new things and that helps you with future runs. At the very least, go in the damn mirror. It's really cool. Go do it. Now, Witch's Brew, nah. Succubus is really good on any build because 3 seconds of not taking damage from an enemy is really nice. No, that requires swapping, and no and no. So we have a choice. We can get a bit more max life, or we can make some money. I might just make some money and sell the most valuable thing here, which is this little stuffed toy that specifically only drops off the sisters fight. Some of the bosses have unique items that only they can drop. That's one of them. I'm gonna sell her little toy. And we don't have enough to upgrade to Lego yet. It's taking our time, man. We need to get more of these skull rooms. Or find some of the skull NPCs, like the harpy. We've already found one. We need to find another one. Did I forget to... I think I forgot to break... Oh no, I didn't open chests, did I? I definitely feel like I've already missed some chests, haven't... Oh no. Oh no. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Thinking hard when play Ghoul. Thinking hard when play Ghoul. Must eat chunk. Slam, do damage, not care about enemy. Ninja, thank you. Walk out the room, ninja breaks. We now have some fragments to work with. Yeah, you blowing up on me, son? You think I care? You think I care? I don't care. I care a little bit. I care a little bit. Don't do that. I care a little bit about that. Not because it hurts, but because it's rude. Oi! Oi! Oh no, not good for you. I'll just drop that fist right there. Oh no, look how alive we are and how healthy we are. This is ridiculous. Bomber, one of the best utility skulls in the entire game. Aha! Another insanely good defensive item, the Warrior's Pauldrons. Between the Warrior's Pauldrons, the Carlane Armor, Knight's Determination, the Priest Staff. Priest Staff has kind of taken a back end of all the good defensive items. It's still good, but it's not as good as the other ones. Carlane Armor, Knight's Determination, and Warrior's Pauldrons are the 3, like, premium defensive items. If you see them, try and get them. I would take them now, but we're kind of defensed out, dude. Stone Mask is really nice, by the way. We get a lot more gold. And I could arguably replace Glowstone if I want. We'll lose the 2 mana cycle, but we'll get a lot more money with Stone Mask. Do we care? Question is, do we care? We kind of care, right? A little bit? The extra shield would be kind of nice. The mana cycle's kind of nice. Fine, I'll do that. Now, Hand of Glory. Very powerful item, especially in hard mode, alright? Especially in hard mode. It will give us more damage per 10 max health we have, stacking up to 120%. That's a huge amount of increased damage. We need to try and get rid of an old antique item that we don't care about. We care about that. We don't really care about Priest Staff anymore, so we're going to buy this. This way we keep antique at 4. And we now get extra damage. And you can see down the bottom, next to where my wheel icon is, the hand icon has a 100 there. We are getting 100% increase to our damage. We're at 335, which for a hard mode run would be terrible, but we're in normal mode, which is fine. This is really good. Because we don't get as much... In hard mode, you get different things that give you more damage. Don't worry about it. Point is, we're sailing, dude. We're cruising. We're doing so good. We don't have a care in the world. Also, if I had the cool butt stomp ability that sends me up in the air a little bit, you can do some cheekies like this and get really high. But doesn't matter. We can do some cheekies because we're low enough to the ground. Suck. Slam. I can do that too, guys. They were about to slam me with their cleavers. I slammed them with theirs. Hello! Fancy seeing you here just so soon after meeting you in the last room. This is embarrassing because I don't know what I do. Nah, I can't. Just know that you should take it. You see it, you take it. My build right now doesn't really need it. If you see it, take it. Boom, die. Boom, die. 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 This big man over here, die. Get bit. We don't even have tons and tons and tons of offensive items. In fact, none of these up here do any extra damage. This gives damage. Nope. Nope. This gives damage, and this gives damage. Nope. Gives crit rate, but only when we get hit. So we've only got 3 items that actively give an increase in damage. All the others are like utility, they're max life, they're shielding. You can see how powerful this is. We could get some extra coverage right here, but once again, I'd have to get rid of something. Giant's Axe is really good for swapping builds. We're not doing any swapping, it doesn't matter. Pass down Scabbard. Unironically really good on Ghoul in most situations because restoring life is easy for him to do. I'm also not taking it now because I don't need it. Embarrassing. I'm gonna get a sip of my drink while I'm walking in here because... I'm parched, my god. Lady. Didn't have to literally shoot me while I was trying to take a sip. I just jumped on her trap. This is what I'm demonstrating to you guys. I have so much defense on my side, I do not care. Hit me. I don't care. Revenge is going to keep me alive. I just knocked the little lady out of the air. Sucks to be you. Drop the hammer. Suck. Slam. Yeah, keep shooting me. Keep shooting me, that helps. Means my recoverable life won't go away. Yeah, keep shooting me. I shouldn't have jumped that. Quick, eat it now, eat it now. I'm about to lose my recoverable life. Just eat it now. Oh no! She's doing the annoying thing. It'd be a real shame if I'd taken any consequential damage in this fight. Oh no! I'm just gonna stand here. I've got like a 20 shield on me thanks to Cyclops. Think I care? Ow. Suck. Slam. Dead. And then even if I had taken a bit of damage, potions heal me right up. I swear to God. He can drop the warrior's shield as well, the armor that we just saw, the warrior's pauldrons. If he had dropped it, oh my god, that would have been rough. Why is my... Dude, my throat is killing me. I don't know why. Well, not literally killing me, but it's... I'm hoarse. I'm hoarse. Why am I so hoarse? All the talking I'm doing. I'm trying to explain a lot. Hang on. Okay. Shameless plug. Use code Beelz at checkout. 20% off your next GFUEL order. That's serious, by the way. Check the description. I am GFUEL sponsored. Now, funny little trap room. Do we care? Nah. Nah, we don't care. Just walk through all that. We don't care. Nah. Ow. Oh no, it's almost like Ghoul is so big that he can't really walk through places without touching the sides. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. It literally doesn't matter. Just break everything. Now, are we close to... Right, this should be the last room we need. It's the cool room. Well, it's one of the cool rooms. The old rave room, how we miss thee. It's not quite the same room, but it's one of them. Just start smashing dudes. Think I care about your little explosive guys? Nope, I'll hop over that. Boing, hop over that one. Bam, get bitten in the head. Big boys. I'm just gonna go in. I'm going, nah. I'm going, I'll get this one then, fine. You want to come over here? Let's fight. Let's fight. There's an alchemist literally just spamming bloody potions at me. I'm gonna stand here and take this treasure. I don't care. Yeah, hit me. Hit me. I don't give a damn. I might need to eat if I don't get hit soon, though. Hit me. Ah, he didn't hit me in time. I lost my recoverable life. Nom. Eat the life. Well, eat the meat, get the life. There, we now have over 100 meat chunks. I could get legendary. Woo. And bear in mind, if anything goes wrong, if your revenge doesn't save you enough, if you didn't get enough meat chunks to eat, you always can buy food in the shop. You have a lot of options to get life back, alright? There's a lot of options. The Magic Pocket Watch also has Antique, which is a really good inscription. Also increases skill cooldown. Very, very good. The swapping concentration speed thing, ignore it. It's good for like 2 or 3 skulls in the entire game. That little bit of text there, don't even worry about it. The 70% skill cooldown increase is huge, and the Antique and the Mutant, both very good. Very good item. I'm not taking it because I don't need it right now. In fact, I don't even know what I do need. I don't need anything. I'm gonna waste some money. Golden Sword, kind of nice. Okay, so we could take Golden Sword. I could get rid of Glowstone now, I guess. This will get me more damage at the cost of a little bit more survivability, but I think we're okay at survivability. We've got the survivability. We need damage. And every time we spend 100 gold, we'll get an increase in our attack. Up to 70%. Yeah. Gimme. Gimme. Whatever. Gimme. Important part is we've still got our 2 treasure, which we don't need long term, but, you know, I'm keeping it because I've got the golden whip and I may as well keep 2 treasure for now. It's fine. It's whatever. If I really wanted to, I could go buy some food. Or I could buy a new quintessence if I wanted. Or I could just waste money, which I'm not going to keep doing. That glowstone on the ground, I walk away. 32.51. 37.36. I make back money. Look at that. You can walk away. I leave them there because they break on their own. Alright? This meme needs to die. But Beelz, why? Shut up. Don't ask me why. I'm kidding. You can ask me why. I'm very chill like that. I'm very, very chill like that. I'm a very cool guy. I'm funny, smart, and great. Die. Give me my money. Give me my money. Legendary chest. Let's get something good. Wow, it's Hope Slasher. This is really lucky. Infinite Bone. Insanely good. Approaching Death. Actually pretty damn good. Hope Slasher. That's our 2 courage and our 2 arms. What the hell do I do? He says. Nah, I'm genuinely kind of stuck. What the hell do I do? I think I have to get rid of the wheel, but I don't want to lose my 4 antique. I've got 4 revenge and 4 antique. I could get rid of my... Oh, I have to get rid of my golden sword that I just bought, dude. Ah. Okay, so hear me out. Everything with 4 antique and 4 revenge has to stay, right? Or with antique and revenge. So, there's one of my revenges, that stays. Antique stays. Antique stays. Revenge stays. Antique stays. Revenge stays. Both stays. So the only ones that didn't, Golden Sword, Standard Issue Armor. And you might be saying, but Beelz, the Golden Sword will give you more damage once it stacks up, and you keep treasure. True. But the Standard Sword has Courage. And if I take the Hope Slasher, I get Courage. And I know what you're saying. I could get 2 arms if I ditch the sword, but I won't get 2 courage. And courage is an amplifier, right? So I can actually show you what happens here. So let's say I were to get rid of the standard Carlean sword. Our total damage, and I might be proven wrong here because I forget that my total numbers are much lower than hard mode, so maybe you're right. We'll take a look. I'm at 415 right now. Ditch this. 474, thank you. Woo! Now, it is true. Once this sword stacks up higher, it will give me more damage and it might even out a little bit. But you gotta remember, I'm also getting more physical damage by eating meat chunks. I don't have any meat chunks right now. The scaling, dude. The scaling on courage amplification effects is very good. If you're doing runs and you need more damage, I highly recommend trying to get at least 2 courage, 2 wisdom, whatever your damage type is. Do it. Do it. You don't even need a lot of it, just 2 of them. Getting 4 out of 4 is great, but getting 2, just as good, dude. Just as good. Perish. What are you doing over here? Suck. I freed the beasts. I freed the beasts. Oh, well, they're dead now. Bonk. No, don't do that. Dude, having Cyclops at half cooldown, amazing. Don't care, walk away. Just let something be sold automatically. Sometimes you will get items that aren't all the same rarity, like you'll normally get 3 common and 3 rare, 3 unique, but sometimes you'll get like 2 rare and 1 unique. Always check. If you're not sure, check. You always want to make sure you're selling the one that sells for the most, because sometimes you'll leave a room, there was 2 rares and 1 unique there, and the game automatically sold the stupid rares and not the most expensive one. Dash through that. I highly recommend that you fight Chimera by just sitting under its chin. Don't have to sit too close. There is a sweet spot where you can avoid that stomp, like right here. But fighting at a distance is typically, in my opinion, a bit more tedious than it's worth. You want to be up in its face. And if she manages to do... her ult... Alright. Jump. Stay up in its face. Jump through the poison like that. Just jump up and jump at the tallest point, then double jump up and dash into its face as it goes to slam. If you touch a bit of poison when you jump up, it doesn't matter. The slam is way more nasty than that. And yes, 1100 hours, I'm very, very, very accustomed to a lot of its attacks. In fact, it gets to the point where I just get lazy and get hit because it's Chimera, dude. Most of these boss fights I'm very, very accustomed to. But you guys are new. So practice, practice, practice. And you want to know something else that's kind of screwed up? It's too late. I'll do it later. I'll do it on the next one. I'll do it on the next one. Remember that? Long story short, you might be able to get ahead of me. I'll show you when I get to it, but I'll see how many of you are paying attention. I showed you a trick back in the shop when it comes to making mistakes. You can do that in boss fights. As long as you don't die for good, you can make up that mistake. You can fix that. You can go back and make it right. Now, we have 2 legendaries. Useless for me. Pain and Despair, especially on Ghoul, is pretty sick. He ends up swinging so fast, it's really funny. Don't want it. Gonna sell. Gonna get money and leave. If you're currently questioning, Beelz, how come that gave you 900 gold? You're only meant to get like 850. Remember, the Golden Whip increases gold gain by 15%. At least one of you was about to ask that. Legendary Ghouler. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. There he is. Now he gets just even bigger and better. So he still does all the same stuff you know and love. When he eats his meat now, he not only heals, but he drops gas. He farts. He poots. He does the funny. My throat is still doing this, dude. I don't know why. I was fine all day. I started recording this video, and then all of a sudden, it's like a desert in my throat. There we go. And it's not going away. Alright. I didn't need to take this room. Bad habits. Old habits die hard. In hard mode, I just take skull rooms from start to finish. Let's do this. It's gonna summon dudes. We gotta kill all the dudes. We gotta get over here. I'm gonna kill all the dudes as quickly as I can. How much? 638? That's not worth it, but I got money to burn. No, I'm not gonna make back the money that I just wasted. Damn it, I wasn't fast enough. No. It's okay. I can walk away and everything will be okay. Ninja, don't care. We don't need any more bone fragments. In hard mode, you will. In hard mode, I just recommend taking just take bone rooms all the time, dude. All the time. In normal mode, once you've got your main boy at legendary, like maybe you found some legendary skulls to break along the way, maybe Yaksha showed up to sacrifice himself to the greater good, you know? Once you're done, you can focus on item rooms. And if you haven't noticed, even though I was trying my best to take skull rooms most of the run, you can get away with a really good item build. Just purely by running around, you know, just doing what you do. The shop is there. There are more ways, in my experience, to get good items than there are good ways of getting a lot more bone fragments. At least until you get to hard mode. Nah, we don't care. We leave. Hello, samurai. I've seen your friend the ninja several times. I don't care. I don't care. At this, what? Let's just roll it out and take a look for the fun of it. Ah, Heart of the Ascetic. don't get it. Don't get me started. Right. Dark Priest Robe, another one of the previously really good defensive items. It kind of falls into the same category as the priest stuff now, where it used to be way better back in the day. Kind of got power crept a little bit, but when your life reaches 30 or below, this is really good for normal mode. In hard mode, your max life gets much bigger. So by the time you reach 30 life, you're in one-shot territory. One more hit and you die. In normal mode, things are still tickling you for like, 10 to 15 damage. At 30 health, you've still got some fight left in you. And what that will do is give you a barrier. So it'll effectively, when you hit 30 life, you've now got 60 life. And the best part about it is, chances are when you reach 30 life, you now meet the conditions for Knight's Determination and the Priest Staff. So those 3 items put together are kind of like a second wind that will save you from death when you get down really low. I do recommend still taking this if you get the chance to, but we don't really need it in our build. We're kind of dumb thick right now. Hello again. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't need anything. I'll save money in case I need to buy food, because I'm just gonna get more and more apathetic towards my opponents as time goes on. I feel bad for them now, dude. Let me just grapple you. Let me just do it again. Do it again. Just be mean. Let me just... What's the name of that guy from Overcrotch? Roadhog. I'm gonna Roadhog him. Hit him with the chains. Hit him with the chains. Lady. Lady. I was waiting for her to summon someone. My goodness. Suck. These little explodey dudes, you can kill them if you want, or you can bait them and then, you know, dive away. It's fine. Get slammed on. Die. Death. Candle thrower, guys. Throw in the heat. These little dudes here. Most annoying goddamn enemy in the entire... Not really, but for me it's like a pet peeve. They suck because their aim sometimes is ridiculous. I'm getting hiccups now. Oh my god, why? Little fun trick for you. If you got hiccups, stick your tongue out. Right? Stick your tongue out and hold your tongue out. You can use your hand for this. You can just bite down with your lips against your tongue. Keep your tongue out, right? Keep it out and swallow. Do your best job to be able to swallow while your tongue is still out. It'll come back into your mouth a little bit, but you'd want to like try and keep it out as much as possible. If you can do that, like 7 out of 10 people in the world do it, fix your hiccups straight away. Notice I haven't hiccuped since I told you this little secret, because I did it right away, and the problem, gone. Like your dad. I'm sorry. I haven't thrown in a sassy remark in a little while. I had to... I'm sorry. It'll never happen again, just like your dad. I'm sorry. I get a little bit sassy when I'm too busy talking about, you know, playing the game a little bit too long, and I start to get little, you know... I haven't said a stupid in a while. I gotta say a stupid once in a while, man. You can't blame me. Alright, this is probably like the most annoying fight for every Power Skull in existence, because you can't really do jumping attacks that easily. But we still don't care about getting hit. Suck. I'll crush you. I'm gonna eat now because this ultimate is just annoying. It's gonna take time. Notice I dropped a cloud? I haven't eaten yet since I got legendary, have I? I need to show you the cloud more. I'm sorry, I'll eat deliberately. I just haven't been taking much damage. We'll get meat chunks and we'll drop more clouds. The cloud does very good damage. So, I still recommend that you don't use it offensively. If you're looking to survive, keep your meat chunks until you really need to heal. But, if you're feeling a little bit sassy, you can just eat the meat chunks. You're like, I'm not taking damage here, I'm fine. Then go for it, dude. Drop the cloud, it'll just do more damage for you. You are sacrificing though, remember. You are sacrificing the damage amplification, but you will do more damage based on how many meat chunks you had before you dropped your cloud. So, I have 22 stacks, I consume. Boom! A little fart on the ground. Look at that. It'll do damage to dudes who stand inside of it. It's great. Ah, it's our friend Hydra. I thought it was Centaurus for a second there. I got confused. Do not mind me. I played this game for a long, long time. Shut up. Shut up. Moving on. Suck. Inhale is so good for just clearing dudes. Bam. Get hit with all the sauce. Look, it's the booze. It's the booze from Mario. Why do I call them the booze? Because they don't do anything as long as you're facing them. You turn away from them. Look. They'll try and get you when you turn away. Aren't they sassy? My goodness. Just face them and kill them. They can't do anything. Little girl down there wants to give me some treats. That's a good excuse to get hit, actually. Here, look. Phew! Drop a cloud. You see, it's not doing insane damage. It's just, it's handy, you know? It's like compensation. If you need to use the meats, you'll lose your damage buff, but the game's all like, you know what? You've worked hard. You earned this. Here, have a little fart cloud. It's gonna do a bit of damage. It's just nice, you know, it's extra. You're not losing anything. I'll talk to the girl. My community get mad with me if I don't talk to the girl and accept her gift, whether I need it or not. Thank you. The Inferno Flower, thank you. Now we can leave. Now I can leave. Also, if you haven't noticed already, the legendary version of Ghoul gets extra effects for the abilities that he has. So when an enemy takes damage from the skill of Wide Slash, my attack speed goes up. When an enemy takes damage from the Suck, my physical damage is further amplified. So he's just really good at dealing with group situations. The more dudes you hit, the better. Keep spamming his skills. You don't have to think about it, dude. I know I just explained it, but do you really think you need to think about it? No, you don't. Just do what you do, and everything will work out, because Ghoul is very much a... There's a lot of things he can do, but as long as you're eating your meat chunks, which is arguably the only, like, you know, be aware of your actions thing that you have to be worried about, is just deciding when to eat. Everything else is automatic. Everything else is fine. I mean, you could throw the chain. Throwing the chain and body slamming a fool is pretty fun. Everything else, though, it's all good, my guy. It's all good. We don't care about anything. Even if I get a lot of hits in this act right now, because these guys in this act will leave a debuff on you that makes you take more damage. You cleanse them with the fountains. If you weren't aware, that's what the fountains do. I've got 2 stacks. Where my meat chunks are, that little yellow icon to the right of it, it says 2. That is the debuff that I've got. The more you get hit by some enemies, the statues, their little pulsing AoE that the big statues do, it's just putting a stack of that stuff on you. Kind of annoying. I don't... You know what? I've got so much money right now. I'm just going to buy Ravenlord, get rid of Ravenlord, and destroy Ravenlord for the extra max life. There we go. That's how much money we have. We got money, that fat cash. Because our build is just looking too good right now. Perish. Perish. There, take that. Oh, look. Now, this is annoying because, you know, you can't keep the booze facing the right direction, because this little minion is running around trying to clobber you. Like an annoying little sassy man. So we gotta work hard to get rid of these statues without getting hit by the little guy. Follow me, little guy. Here, look at him coming along. Oh, no. He died. Slam. Time for the suck. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I don't care, my guy. I don't... Get bit. I don't care. Done. Nah, don't care. Walk out the room. Keep sucking. Oh, he hit me. But I recovered a lot of life. It doesn't matter. I'm being so aggressive in not caring right now, dude. Ghoul is such a good time. Look, I'm jumping into damage. I'm jumping into damage. I'm taking so little. I can just bully these guys. I highly recommend it. Once again, if you don't find Ghoul, Shield, another good option. Shield is not as the brain switch off as Ghoul is with what he does, but Shield is very defensive and very, very good at what he does. Is this a room where... may as well eat. Nom. Yeah, they're really not taking much damage from that cloud. It's better in hard mode. Point is, it's whatever. Don't do it aggressively, do it defensively. If you need to, you need to. Right, I have 7 stacks of the debuff. See this foggy effect around my screen? That tells me I'm getting a lot of stacks because I'm getting hit a lot. I talk to the fountain. Screen unfogs. My stacks go away. It gives you like 1% more damage taken per stack that you get. So I had 7. I was taking 7% more damage. Oh no. And before I get told that I've made a horrible mistake and it's actually 10% per stack, but it's still 1%, right? I haven't thought about that number in a while. Joan's gonna try and be annoying. We need to break the pillars. Just avoid the goons as best you can. Kill them if you have to. When the little exploding kamikaze guys come out. The statues. If you can, try and kill the statues, because these statues have... I need to show you an above average chance to drop healing orbs. This is kind of like the game's way of saying, here's some healing within the run, within this fight, because there's a lot of shit on the screen and it gets a little bit difficult to avoid everything. But that's why the statues kind of stomp across the screen, because instinctually you want to avoid them. But if you're hungry for some healing, you're going to have to risk death or just taking more damage to get that healing. It's doing a little bit of, you know, pro and con, pretty good. With the beam, just run to the other side of the room, dude. Just run to the other side. Bait the explosive guy. It'll go away. Right. Staff goes in the air. She's gonna slam. Jump over the waves. Balls come out. Just dodge before they hit the ground. I think I messed that up as well because I was too busy sucking. In the literal sense of the word, we were sucking. Here, look. Just wait. Dodge. Sucking. Think I care, little man? I don't care. I'm a god. Right. This part. People have issues with this part. It's not as bad as you think. Although with Ghoul, it's going to be rough to explain and dodge, because Ghoul's a big boy, right? Ghoul fundamentally doesn't care about this fight. So right now, alright. Move to the outer platforms for this attack. Just dance around it. Just wait. Just wait. If the balls are in the center, in the middle... once again, move to the outside. Just wait. Just avoid. You can just stand here, I guess. Oh, look. She goofed. The little balls in the middle are annoying, but you can deal with it. This thing has a terrible turning arc on it. You can just drop down and go underneath it, and it cannot touch you. These balls are genuinely very, very lethal. Go to the very outside as fast as you can. If you see something balls, don't try and dodge in the middle of them. They will blow you up if you get hit by them all. I recommend just run to the outside and then dodge through the small gap. Whenever she teleports away, be aware that she might do the beam. Just whenever she teleports away, be aware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. She does 6 of those balls. Whenever she goes, "Ugh!" That tells you. Beam. She'll do this twice, normally. She did it once before because she's stupid, but she'll... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Always 6. I'm doing this fight slow, by the way, because I've been asked recently to show more of this fight and how to do it. Once again, terrible turning arc on this thing. Look, it's gone. It won't touch me now. It sucks. Oh, and again. This thing has a terrible turning arc. It handles like a goddamn Honda. I shouldn't... Why am I taking shots at Honda? Balls come out. Just avoid the balls however you can. Now, for this, you can get up on top and just avoid it like this. Look, just... Whoop. I mean, don't jump into the ball. I'm big. I'm a big boy. Get to the outside. Although if the balls are on the outside, try and stay in the middle. You can stand in here and do that. In here is fine too. Wherever her like main 3 balls are, you can try and be in the opposite spot to where they are, but really by now, by this point, she's probably almost dead in your fight. I'm not hitting her just to prove a point, just to show things off. If I come up and I go, whoop! Oh no, that terrible turning arc. And now I'm doing the opposite. I'm standing where the balls are. No, dodge through that. See, even a power boy can dodge that stuff. And she's going to do the big beam again. Just jump up here. You can even hit her if she's like in the same spot. You can avoid this on the horizontal platforms. What are you doing now? Summoning goons? I ignore the goons. I don't know about you. I don't care. All they do... 3, 4, 5, 6. All they do is just do this little bubble thing that pushes you around. Typically for me, they die to collateral damage, dude. I never have to, like, think about them. Ah, this attack. She is immune to all damage during that. Just find a gap. I know it's difficult. I make mistakes too. Check out my mummy run and you'll see me bug that up really badly. 2, 3, 4. I messed that up. I don't care, dude. Like, I'm now being very... Aha! Run away! It's a black hole! It's a black hole. It's a ravenous cavern. It's Twitter. Oh, be scared. Be so scared and afraid. Just kill her. I don't care, dude. Just kill her. Too late. It looks like that effect came out of her dying body. Pretty rad. Open that up. Nah, we don't care. My dog is a woofin. He is a woofin. Hopefully no one's here. We leave. Now, I know that may not have been the most comprehensive or most in-depth guide on fighting Joan, but really, Joan is just a matter of pattern recognition. A lot of the boss fights in this game is pattern recognition, but she looks scarier than she is. I didn't do the thing! Ah, I forgot. I was going to show you the thing. Fine. I'll show it to you on Daddy, right? We'll do it on the final Daddy fight. I will show you the cool trick. For those who stuck... Yeah, you know what? This is deliberate. I'm going to pretend that this was a deliberate choice. If you're still here, you're going to get to see the super cool trick that's going to help you get your wins easier than ever. The super cool trick that will have you literally farming bosses. The one trick that NeoWiz doesn't want you to know about. Southpaw hates me. They don't. Please don't hate me. Okay. Good tip for you. Good tip. Yes. I put this in some of my previous videos, but it doesn't matter. If you're seeing this now, this is it. The boiled Yagamon egg. Any food item at this point in the run, this specific shop will sell foods. If it says 2 maps or less on the duration, it's not going to last for the final fight. If it says 3 maps at least, this effect will persist for the hero fight. So our basic attacks will do 20 additional true damage. 20 additional true damage in the hero fight. We take it. And, I mean, you might need some healing as well, so there's no reason not to. I'm gonna buy Banshee. I'm gonna break... Actually, you know what? Real quick. Beautiful. I never get to hear Banshee nearly enough because the effect is... It's cool, but there's a lot of quintessences that kind of outpace what Banshee offers. But it's pretty. Very pretty. Pull them together, slam them, smash them. Stick them in a stew. There. It's actually boil them and mash them, but you know, smash them is pretty good too. Smash potatoes. Right, it is that time again, my dudes. I get to thank you for being here, for hanging out. I wish you the best of luck with your Ghoul runs in the future. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. I normally see pretty much everything people are saying or asking, and will do my best to answer your questions. If not, then someone else down there will do it, because I have a very helpful community of nice peoples. Let's get up here and do the dad fight. Now, I'm not going to make this a comprehensive guide on how to fight dad. I'm not going to do that. Dad's very... He's got a lot of moves, he's got a lot of stuff that he can do, but I'll call out what I'm doing as I do it. But first and foremost, we're going to make mistakes, and I'm going to show you how to correct your mistakes. So I'm going to run out and be all like, yeah, Dad, yay, I'm fighting Daddy. I'm just going to swing. I'm literally going to stand still and do this and hope for the best. Let's see, am I winning? Am I winning, Dad? Holy shit, I'm winning. Don't do this to me. Good. Kill me. Hurt me. Oh god. Oh, Ghoul. Ghoul, you're ghouling too much. The ghouling is too good. Dude, this is what I mean. Look how good he is. I'm gonna eat. He's in the Stinky. Dude, the Stinky's hitting really hard right now. Okay, so hypothetically, I'm not playing an incredibly powerful, beginner-friendly Skul that I'm making a really cool video about, and you know, you totally shouldn't tell me how good this video is. Like, we're just gonna hypothetically suggest that I'm making horrible mistakes in this fight. Let's just pretend I died, right? This is gonna take a minute. Wheel, go. Ignore the face. The mod for the wheel is still putting the face on it. There we go. Look at little Skul get chopped the hell up. Ow, this sucks. I'm gonna lose my first life. Ow, ow, ow. Oh no, my first life just went. What if I Alt F4? Boop. Once again, I'll find something to put on the screen. So just like in the shops, because the beginning of this room is walking in to, you know, to approach the hero, to fight the hero. This goes for all boss fights. You can practice your boss fights if you want by just closing the application. Turn off the power button. I don't care what you do. Alt F4, do it. And we're back in. As though nothing bad happened. This lets you practice. Practice, 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 practice. If you're having trouble with a fight, play around with it, get close to dying, and then Alt F4 before the worst case scenario, and you will come back at the beginning. You do not have to go back and redo the entire run just to practice a boss fight. You can get away with resetting it. You don't need mods for it. This works on, as far as I know, every version of the game. It damn well should. I don't know about mobile coming out later. If you're watching this in the future and you're watching based on mobile, do let me know. Does this work on the mobile version? Dude, I now know I can just stand here. I've learned that I can just stand still. You can see that weight 20, that extra bit of damage. He didn't hit me enough. I'm losing real life, dude. Oi. I'm losing real life. You gotta keep hitting me so I can eat my meat. Yeah? Have that. Dude. Brain off. Alright. Flash, dash, flash, dash, flash, dash, flash. I'm fucking it up. Ghoul dashes slowly. Ghoul dashes slowly. It's the cooldown. Flash dash is the way that you learn that, but Ghoul and Power Skulls do it a bit slower than usual. You might have to actually stand in the gap sometimes. Doesn't matter. We're a god. We don't have to worry about anything. Ignore me. We have a second whole health bar, and he's barely got us down a little bit. He's done 50 damage. And we're standing still. Okay, how to avoid this attack, right? He's gonna teleport to us, and we're gonna dash. 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 I dashed the wrong way. Dash. 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 Daddy's initial start of phase 2 with all these golden swords is literally just him teleporting and shooting waves. You can just dash every single time. Oh no, Daddy-o! He's taking a minute. I'm just gonna stand here. I didn't even dodge that. Dude, this is not a comprehensive guide on how to play, how to fight second form Golden Dad. This is a comprehensive guide on how to not give a damn and get your win with Ghoul, because Ghoul is silly. I'm standing still. I'm not dodging. I'm standing still. I literally have like 100 different bloody videos of me showing how to fight Daddy-o. I don't care. I don't care. He's so screwed. Do I keep my healing? I've got healing. I've got to get back. I don't have to, but I want to. I want to fart on him. If that green is still there, that's going to be funny as hell. Did it pause it? It should, right? Yay! Fart. And now I can work on getting more meat chunks again, now that I've healed up. Yeah, just keep hitting me. Keep hitting me. Keep hitting me. He grabbed me. He grabbed me again. Big beam. I'm just gonna stand in the beam. Think I care? I do not care. Bip. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is he gonna... No, he didn't die from the Damn you. I can't. I need to get 5 meat or minimum. Ah, that sucks. Punch him. Alright, it's over. We leave. Whee! We're out of here. That only took forever. I'm sorry that it's a long one. I'm very sorry. I never said it would be a fast speed run, but it is a consistent, very consistent run. Now, you don't need exactly the items that I got. As I said, your main goal is to aim for 2 revenge. Get at least 2 in revenge. Antique. You don't even have to worry about antique, but antique helps. Fortress is also good. The defensive items I spoke about, get those. If you can find more damaging items and you're practicing your dodging, obviously, I expect you to dodge and play a little bit more defensively than me. I was literally standing still tanking damage at several intervals in that run just to prove a point that Ghoul really does allow you to get away with it, right? That's the whole idea, is he lets you get away with it. So if you're practicing your dodging, you can do your Alt F4s, you can restart the map, you can restart the fight if you want to practice fighting Joan, fighting the 2 sisters, fighting the final form hero. As long as you don't die, close the game, reopen the game, try again. You can do it even if you're gonna win. I recommend just closing it and redoing it a few times over just to practice dodging his different types of attacks. It's such a good learning tool, dude. And Ghoul, being able to just take the hits and keep on swinging back. Same with Shield. Those 2 are very, very good, alright? Shield runs end up being like twice this length though, so I'm not going to do a shield run again. You can look up all my shield runs I've done before. Go check them out on the channel, just type in shield or whatever, you'll find a bunch of them. Look at the length of those videos and you'll see. To be fair though, a lot of those were defensive specific runs. Right, wait, I've got to show you one more thing. Give me a second. So originally I told you that Ghoul also works really, really well in the dark mirror mode. Now, something that you're not going to have when you very first start doing it for at least the first couple of difficulty tiers is the full selection of all of these dark powers. If you're an actual fresh new player and you have no idea what any of this is, don't worry about it. You only unlock this stuff after you've beaten the game on normal mode and you access the dark mirror. Then it will start making more sense. But initially, you'll only have half of these. I think you only get up until Kingslayer. and then from achievement onwards, you don't have access to yet. Once you unlock the rest of these, like I said, just do exactly what I just showed you. Just do a ghoul run, defensive stuff, you'll be fine, get all those initial difficulties cleared. Eventually, you'll unlock the rest of these. You can't miss it, you'll just get it, right? When you unlock the rest of these, if you want to climb from like difficulty 4 all the way through to 10 and have a decent chance at it, I highly recommend on Ghoul, Piety. Life recovery increased by up to 30%. When life is recovered, your damage is increased per life recovered for 10 seconds up to 270%. So Ghoul's natural self-healing from eating things and having revenge and any of that kind of stuff that you were using before will be increased. So his healing is even better and he gets more damage from doing it. It's so good. You can even buy Last Resistance if you want another extra life bar. There's a lot you can do, but I highly recommend Piety. And just as a personal thing, get Super Baby with it. It's really nice. The extra max life increase just gives you more to work with, more wiggle room. It's just good. And so finally, we have reached the end of the video. I hope this was helpful to some of you newer players out there. For all of the original guys who've seen this time and time again, I'm sorry, but hopefully you enjoyed the ride either way. Once again, any questions, drop them down below. We'll see what we can do to help you out. I highly suggest practicing as much as you can. The difficulty curve with Skul is very unique in that in a lot of other rogues, a lot of your success can boil down to luck. So whether or not you got good skulls or good items, in Skul, it's a lot more like 40-60 in terms of 40% of your success is the build and about 60% is player ability. So in the beginning, everyone's going to have a hard time. It's just the way that it is. But if you practice enough, eventually you can take even the crappiest of builds and the weakest of runs the distance, all right? That's just kind of the way that it works. So when a lot of people ask me questions like, I need good skulls and items to beat my run, I say, well, yeah, Ghoul helps you out a lot, but he'll only carry you so far. That's why you need to practice. Get good at evading certain enemies' attacks, recognize patterns, and then not only will Ghoul help you, you can clear wins on anyone then. You won't have to rely on one particular build. But with all of that said and done, I've got to get out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all again next time. Have a good one.